This is easily my most powerful build that I have at the moment. And it's ancestral warrior totems. It's also my most expensive build that I put together. So it's a crit, endurance charge, stacking, ancestral warrior totem build that relies on Sunder to deal damage. So there's two items that are required for this build to do a lot of damage. They're not required for the build to work. They are required for the build to do a lot of damage, though. And if you don't have these items, the build will not do a lot of damage. And the first item you need is conduit. This one right here, red flare conduit. You need one with gain a power charge every second if you haven't lost power charges recently. And if I remember correctly, that should be it. That should be the only stat line you need on the red flare conduit. And then the second item you need for the build to do a lot of damage is a Flesh Crucible Resonance on it. Now, the reason you need a Flesh Crucible Resonance on it to do a lot of damage is because if you don't have one, then you need to go over here and get Resonance. And that requires a lot of passive points. A lot of passive points we don't want to spend. There are passive points you'd rather spend on damage, not on the tree. Not on trying to get one singular passive called Resonance. So you get Resonance in the jewel, in the unique jewel, the Flesh Crucible. And then the rest of the gear I have on me is not necessarily required, but you do need a good weapon. Preferably one with crit. And that's it. That's all you really need for the build to come online. After that, you just get a good ring. You use res cap, get a good amulet. In this case, we got a Defiance of Destiny. Get a good belt, res cap with that, and get some good boots with movement speed and all that, which I don't have. Now you could use a scepter offhand. You would get a lot more damage, but I I went with Swollen because the damage I think is pretty good, honestly. Like the damage is pretty serviceable. You have around 5 totems up at once. You can technically have 10, but your charges aren't going to allow for you to have 10 100% of the time. Like, you're not going to have 100% uptime on 10 totems. So that's why I say you're going to have around 5. But the DPS is like crazy because we only have like a 14% chance to crit. But it doesn't matter because we're putting down so many totems that we're critting. You know, you can put down like 5 totems. That's 5 times our crit chance. You know, just with that alone. I was also looking at a setup with that would utilize time of need, but nah, I'm not gonna do that. This, and the reason I'm not gonna do that is because I want Eternal Rage, so I can get more damage, so I can squeeze a little more damage out of the build. In the end, though, playing as a Warbringer is the main reason why I've used Svalin, because you have a lot of block related nodes in the Ascendancy Warbringer. The Warbringer Ascendancy has a lot of block related nodes, so that's another reason why I'm using Svalin and not a Scepter. But you could use a Scepter. You could. Honestly, I'd probably recommend the Scepter over Svalin, just so you can do more damage. You're probably gonna, you know, more damage is more damage. You're gonna kill bosses faster. You're gonna map slightly faster. Even though mapping is already like really good. The only downside of this build is it can be a little slow. And the reason I say that is not because the damage is low or because the time to kill is low, but because in this game, if you don't have Blink, you're kind of just slow, you know. Or if you're not using like Roa. Or you're not playing Pathfinder, you're kind of just going to be slow a little bit. So that's kind of how it is. But I was saying before that I am probably going to go Titan. I was using this build to do spell totems at first, but the damage required, or I should say, the damage you could reach with spell totems is not good on this class. On something like a Blood Mage or something, the damage will probably be really good. But on this class, I don't recommend doing spell totems. If you're gonna do spell totems, do it on a different class. Don't do it on a warrior, whatever this class is called. Do it on a spell related class, I would say, and you should be fine. Spell totems will be fine, but for spell totems, you don't need the resonance jewel because you're going to you know, build on the side of the tree that has the resonance keystone passive, but you do need the chest plate still. You do not need a chest plate exactly like mine, or a body armor, I should say. You do not need a body armor exactly like mine to get the build to run. You just need a body armor with that one line, with that one stat line. And you don't even have to worry about the lose all power charges upon reaching maximum power charges. It doesn't matter if you have that stat line. And the reason it doesn't matter if you have that stat line is because you're going to be getting resonance to get endurance charges anyways. So having that stat line is completely fine. You can have that stat line on the chest piece, and the build should still work completely fine. So the body armor is one of the less expensive pieces that you need for the build. Basically, spell totems it should be easier to build, and they should do more damage. Honestly, I just don't have the right class for it, and I don't have gold to respec, even if I do have the class. So, like Blood Mage, I'll probably end up trying to make a spell totem build on Blood Mage, and it'll probably be amazing. We'll see what happens. Another really good item that can be kind of expensive, but it's really good for the build, is Ziri's gloves. At Ziri's gloves, you can get some pretty crazy cultivated mods on those gloves that make this build even more insane than it already is. And the reason being is because one of the lines you can get is increased critical hit chance if you haven't dealt a critical hit recently. And since you're not technically attacking, you're never actually dealing critical hits. So your totems are dealing critical hits. You aren't. So they technically always have that bonus, which is really awesome. But honestly, I don't go for them because they're super expensive and you're gonna crit anyways eventually, and it only increases your crit chances and increase your crit damage. What you should go for is Malagaros. Malagaro's Virtuosity with a plus to melee skills roll enchant are perfect, especially if you can get one with 3 sockets. But that's like 500 div. So if you can only get one with 2 sockets, that's fine. I say 3 sockets because you're gonna want as much life as possible since we're using Combines to Destiny. Again, though, the only 2 items you need for this build, and not the spell totem version, is the body armor and the resonance red flesh crucible. For a spell totem version, just play on Blood Mage, play on Lich, do the Blood Mage Ascendancy, and get the chest plate, get the body armor, red flare conduit with the right stat line, and it should be pretty easy to build a Blood Mage spell totem character that obliterates. It's a little harder with, in my opinion, it's a little harder to make Ancestral Warrior totems do a lot of damage. And it's really hard to make you tanky too, because yeah, well, you have access to Energy Shield, but I could run Energy Shield, but all the Energy Shield nodes are all the way on the other side of the tree, so That's why I'm trying to stack as much life as possible. 3,000 life is like the sweet point. It's like the sweet spot for life builds. You don't gotta get any like, you don't gotta get a crazy amount of life for a life build to really do well, especially when you have Defiance of Destiny at your disposal. That like boost your life pool by a shitload. So yeah, perfect. All right. So do I recommend this build? Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. Does a lot of damage. In the end, you're definitely better off going for the spell totems, though. If I had to be completely honest. Alright, we should do slightly more damage. Nice. Yes, sir. Do I need that cold resistance in there? No, I don't. I could have more life then. Nice. I'm glad I caught that. I'm always trying to hit 3K on my life builds. So I'm very glad I caught that. Yeah, so I guess the rest of the video, how much time do I have left? I got a lot of time left for the video, so I'll do a map real quick to show that it can do mapping, like high tier mapping. This map sucks, so. What just dropped? Go by. Nice. Really, I want to show the boss though, because it's a fully upgraded boss. That's where most people get skeptical with builds. Is they're like, can it do bossing? You know, this build can 100% do bossing. You gotta ramp up the damage a little bit though, because you put down, totems and you gotta wait for your charges to come up. But you get 100% do bossing. Yeah, this build is pretty good, pretty good. I don't know, like, if Sunder's the best. It just has the best clear. In my opinion. It's got really good clear. Oh, and you can, dude. Okay, so that's another thing. Uh, if you could probably have a better setup than mine to do more damage. My setup is very, very, very unoptimized. So there's honestly a lot of room for improvement. For example, you could put concentrated area and get that's 30% more damage right there. And close combat, that's another 30% more damage you could have. The only reason I don't have stuff like that is because efficiency is in my opinion, needed. And attack speed helps a lot. Attack speed. When you're able to get the attack speed, when you're able to get the attack time low for like any totem build, or like the cast time as well for a totem build, it really, really, really helps because you want to attack as often as possible. So attack speed is something that you probably be like, oh, that's not required for a build like this, but it's like, you want your totems attacking for the majority of the time that they're up. You don't want them just sitting there doing nothing, charging up their attack. You want to slam it down, fuck shit up. But I'm probably gonna switch to Titan. Titan would definitely go hard. The reason Titan would go hard is because of the increased small passives. The increase to small passives would be insanely powerful. It's cool. Okay, so let me prove this is a fully upgraded boss. +4. We just don't have the last two. I can't be fucking you. Fully upgraded boss. Melted. Melted. Now you probably, okay, 15% crit chance, we got no crit on the tree. Doesn't matter. We're putting down so many totems that, that 250% crit damage bonus. But when we do crit, that's huge. That's huge. It's massive. Doesn't seem that crazy because you don't think it would happen that often, but trust me. You got 5 totems down, it's 50% chance to crit. Well, at least one of them is going to crit. At least one of the totems is going to hit a crit. Like, I don't know. Like, that's how I see it. So having that pure critical damage bonus is 250, pretty good with no investment. Pretty fucking good, in my opinion, with no crit investment at all. So we go over the tree. We took this. Kind of why I'm running Spalin. So let me show you what you should run. You should run a Titan And instead of a Svalin, you should use one of these. And your damage should get crazy. Hold on. Oh, that's right. We gotta get rid of brutality. Okay. Now our damage should be fucking crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be insane. Try this on it. Ooh. Yeah. No. We don't want that though. We don't want that. We want that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we lose all our block chance though. That's the only downside. And then swap the Titan, which is what I'm probably going to be working towards doing, to be honest. Swapping the Titan so I can get all those extra slams and such. Yeah, we don't have the gold either, which is kind of annoying. Swap. But yeah, if damage is the only thing you care about, then yeah, put one of these on. Play a Titan, and yeah, go ahead. But if you don't care about damage and you care more about survivability, then go a different route. Smaller. Now we got 63% chance to block. We're gonna be a lot tankier. That's the setup I'm gonna run with, anyways. Uh, it's up to you. To each their own. Everybody's gonna have their own little setup, that they run for a build like this. Okay, what now? We'll put this away because we don't need it anymore. Put that in there. Yes, sir. I could probably fight Arbiter of Ash real quick, just for the funsies. Not the upgraded version though, just the regular version. But no, I'm not gonna do that. If anything, I'll probably just go back to Temple of Chaos. So yeah, Ancestral Warrior Totems. I didn't really go over the tree. Okay, let's go over the tree for real this time. Uh, you take these notes here. You get skill speed. You get skill effect duration. Increased skill effect duration. It has to be increased. You get max endurance charges. You get totem damage, totem attack speed, physical damage. Levianga's brew is absolutely required, in my opinion. Otherwise, okay. So two things that are it's not required. Livia, I guess it's not required, but if you want it to feel smooth, in my opinion, it is required. Endurance charges, strength, two-handed weapon damage, even though we're one-handing it because it still counts as two-handed weapon. Attack speed, total damage, maximum endurance charges. More damage, strength, more totem damage. Yeah, we put on some of these, but hold on. Wait a second. I just realized how much damage do I lose if I take those off? Wow, almost none. Like 10k. Wait, okay. How much life can I get on this build? I'm just now realizing that I can probably get a lot more life than I have. And I'm about to find out if that's the case or not. Skirt, skirt, skeet, skeet. Take that out. Take that out. Hmm, interesting. I have these. What else do I have? I had a pretty crazy shield. Yeah, I still have it. Woo, baby. Fuck that. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on, brother. Hold on. Hold on a second. What happens if I take this up? Okay. I'm kind of just experimenting now in my life, but seeing how much I can get. It's kind of crazy. This is like, what? Oh, I just realized. Okay, I just looked at the death grade modifier. I was like, why did I buy this? But then I looked at the death grade modifier. And I was like, okay, never mind. It's got a shitload of life on it. I just realized that. It's funny. I'm thinking we go say fuck the block and we just go the fire route. Let's see. Here's what we could do. Here's what we can. What am I gonna do with 100 more spirit? You know, Like, for real, what am I going to do with 100 more spirit? There's nothing to do with it. I'm trying to think now, like, what am I going to do with 100 more spirit? Herald of Ash? Berserk would be nice, but then I'd have to change up the tree a lot. No, I don't want to do that. Charge regulation? More defenses? Oh, interesting. Okay, that could be nice. That could be fine. Could be good. Man, magma barrier ain't gonna do anything. Iron ward, scavenge plating. Could just run Herald of Ash. Fuck it. Hold on, there's a method to my madness. I'm looking for a skill gem real quick. I can't find it though. What the fuck? I know I have it. Yeah, here we go. I was gonna say. Now I have this fucking skill gem. Could also run this. Like I don't know how crazy that would be though. How much damage it is. Ah, but then Herald of Ash is completely useless. We run this. Like the clear speed will be crazy, but that's about it. All right, let's try it out. Let's try out a DPS version. No blocking, straight DPS. Let's see if we can see how this works out. What else is there to talk about? The new patch. New patch is dropping soon. Couple weeks. happy, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. End game, all the end game content is gonna be great. Can't wait to get all the new uniques and try them out. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to like the Ravens that they showed. I want to try that out. I'm kind of afraid it's going to be expensive, but it is what it is. Okay. See how much mana these fucking things use? I always forget about the one of the stat lines on the scepter. The fact that it hits enemies or their lowest resistance. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good stat line. Like that ability is kind of underrated. I always forget about that. But if you think about it, that's a lot of extra DPS. That's less area of effect is gonna suck, but only downside is build is probably the tankiness. If I have to be honest, the tankiness is even with the shield, it's not very good. Like yeah, the damage is insane, but no, the tankiness leaves a lot to be desired, unfortunately. How much life do I have if I put this on? Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, this build definitely is not like an easy win build. Still gotta pay attention to your health bar. You know, I understand why they made the totems require charges. Because if they didn't require charges, I feel like it would be the only thing people would use. Because what would you rather do? 100k damage every time you hit? Or 100k damage multiplied by 6 or 7? Depending on how many totems you have. How much damage do I have if I take all these out? Should be able to. That doesn't seem right. Oh, because my rage. Hold on. Let me let my rage go. I need I need a fucking one of those unique jewels. Part of the well. I need a part of it. I'm just turning it into a glass cannon at this point. I don't care. Why not? Alright, I'm gonna end the video there. I've kind of run its course. It's cool though. Recommend giving this shit a shot. Try out the totems. Try out the totems.